Welcome, everybody. It's the Guru Mama. I'm here. I'm happening. It's true. Come on in. I hope you're all doing wonderful on this Tuesday and having an absolutely fabulous time today. So, we're going to get into some of the astrologies. There's a little bit of craziness that's going on. And before I get going, of course, I have announcements. So, what is happening? What's happening with the cray of the nuttiness of the world today? Well, today's the last day for registration if you are wanting to join me for the vision board this weekend. Because after today, it's like my focus is like, okay, that's it. I'm, wrapping it down. Who's ever registered is registered, and off we go. I know some people have been sitting on the fence, but I can't be. I hate chasing people down. Are you sure? Do you want? So if you are interested, let me know. Today's the final day, and it is $130 for the 2 days, and you get the vision board is we're not just creating and slapping pictures onto a Bristol board. What the vision board is, it is about creating the energy for what you are desiring and wanting to manifest in your life. It is a weekend where it's 2 days of really looking deeply of what does it look like for your life financially, and what do you want to change? What are your relationships like, and what do you want to grow, and what do you want to let go of? What is it in your business or your workplace that you love, and what don't you love, and how can we let that go? This is also going to include that we are going to be doing a 12-month reading, which is kind of cool, I think, because the Samhain is you is the end of the year, in the witch's calendar. So this is really looking at what am I going to be creating between this October and next October, right? And how am I going to be stepping into the energies that I would like to create? Because the more you put the energy into what you are wanting to create, that's where the energy is going, right? If you're putting your energy into other things that are going on, and that's your full emphasis, I'm not saying that you don't know what's going on, but if that's your full emphasis, and that's the only thing, and you're getting so wound up with it, then you're going to find that that's really what you are going to be manifesting. That is what you are wanting to create. One of the biggest parts about wanting to create a better world for ourselves, one is financial. And I know a lot of times people don't want to talk about financials because it's their perception of what money is. So we're going to be talking a wee bit about what money is, and what the perception is, and what the taboos that we were told about money, and what we are supposed to discuss and not discuss about it. Yet it is something that no matter what the currency is, you are needing that currency in order to create what it is and to do what it is that you are wanting to do. So that is part of the vision board as well. So there's that. This Friday, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I'm looking at the time, and I saw these little thingies that are going to be coming up over the next couple of weeks, and I don't like these little images that are coming up on the weather station. So this weekend, Friday, I know I have the vision board on Saturday and Sunday, but Friday evening, I want to do a ghost hunt of the East Village. The East Village is, I would say, in Calgary, it's one of the most haunted areas. It is where Calgary was set up, on that side, because of the river and everything. There was used to be a lot of tents there. There was the ladies that used to work in that area quite a bit. So that is really one area I really want to go into, walk around, There's lots of history there. You're not far from Fort Calgary, so you have the energy of Fort Calgary. There is the Blues Bar that's down there. We're right by the railway. Yeah, there's just so much that's there, and I think it'd be a blast just to go for a walk, some insight, get you some information on the area and also what you are feeling and what I often see when I am down in that area. And it's not an area that my family likes to go to very often. I get drawn to it. I know there's a lot of homeless, other things that are going on that's down there, but it's been cleaned up quite a bit. But yeah, so if you're wanting to join me on Friday evening for a nice little jaunt in the neighborhood and see what we can discover. So welcome. Yes, welcome. So what is happening on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday? Well, we do have Juno. 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 She moves out of Leo and she's into Virgo and she's heading to oppose lovely Saturn. Saturn's her father-in-law. He's the person that's Zeus is her husband and Saturn is her father-in-law. And so relations aren't always that good per se, since he did try to kill her husband, you know. So it leaves a little bit of a bitter taste in her mouth, and she is opposite him, as we go up. So there's a little bit of especially in Virgo, wanting to be that of service, wanting to connect and be um with others. And it's also about the health. So a lot of things to do with health, how the healthiness of what it is that you are taking on. What does that feel like? And Saturn in Pisces is wanting to be grounded and to be connected, and he wants to bring in lessons and of mastery and opportunity, and as well as it's dealing with emotion, and Saturn's not very good with dealing with emotions, especially there's grief and and compassion, and wants to know, is like, our hearts are open or do we want them shut because of the grief, or um of what is going on right now? Are we shutting ourselves down? Are we not opening our hearts up to the light that is really prevalent around us? And it is there in order for us to create a better place to live in, right? This is also about, when we look at the feelings of compassion for our for other human beings, this is where it comes into, whether it's the color of our skin, our religion, or our heritage, or are we shutting everything down? So Pisces is, wants to open our hearts, and Saturn really wants to bring in the healthy boundaries. And that's the same with Juno. Juno wants to know, what are those commitments that you are putting yourself to? Are you putting yourself to a commitment that is going to shut you down, or are you wanting to put yourself to a commitment that's going to open yourself up? And with Saturn in Pisces and opposite a Virgo placement, it demands we take off again those rose-colored glasses. We can't, if there are things that you are wanting to create in your life, if there are things that you are wanting to manifest in your life, you gotta see them. It's like, when going after finances, if you want to build your financial abundance and what you want to do financially, right? You gotta take a look at your bank account. You gotta see what you're spending your money on, right? You can't just, like, oh, well, maybe this will all work out someday. You got to take some fiscal responsibility for it, right? So that's too with Virgo, with Juno in there. What are you taking responsibility for? What aren't you? What is bringing that service to you and having those healthy boundaries? Now, Saturn doesn't like Pisces. He doesn't like to be there. He can't get grounded. So it's going to feel very off. It's going to feel very unsettling, to say the least. And excuse me, my nose just keeps running a bit, but that's because I sneezed before I came on. That is where, the world is. It's unsettled right now. And it's hard for us to sort of grapple and get all the facts. And we're only seeing things as black and white, and it's got to be this way or that way. And you got to do this or that. But here it comes in. It's like, no, we got to really look at things a little bit closer and have those healthy boundaries. And that's very important in how we want to create a world that we want to live in. And Saturn and Pisces, with that placement, with us taking the rose colored glasses off, this is where we stop checking out and instead seeing reality as it is in our own terms. And this is with the goddess energy piling up in Virgo. I mean, we got Venus there. Can we commit to the discernment of being of service? And I feel in opposition, the power of the divine feminine in here. This is what, and it's up against the patriarchal system, the opposition, the media manipulation, that is Pisces. Pisces has to do with media and propaganda, and only feel compassion for one side or the other. And this is where it's like, no, this is where we have to look at and say, you know what? I'm going to send it all love and light. I'm going to send it all so I can stand in the power of my divinity. And this is where sometimes we check out or shut down and we don't want to deal with anything. And this isn't the time to check out. This isn't the time to say, no, I'm not going to do it. This is a real beautiful, energetic time, as crazy as it might seem, to really look at what reality within the dimensional realities, dimensional levels, do you want to create? Do you want to go down to the lower levels, or do you want to ascend to a higher level and come into the divine Christ consciousness? That's really our test right now. And as we are doing it, we're able to allow ourselves to open up and be that inspiration to others, be that person that is able to take the rose-colored glasses off and say it's not just black and white. It's not just, he said, she said. There's so much more to it. And in that, we have to have that discernment and that reservation so that we are able to come in to make the choices that we need to make within our own lives. And that's very critical right now. It's very critical as we are, coming off this eclipse, where we're going off of off the eclipse into this energy that's going to be giving us information. We have Mercury squaring Pluto, and Mercury wants to give Pluto some information as he's heading forward, yet he can't. There's obstruction, or there's not being able to give him what Pluto really wants to hear at this time. So when it comes to the energies of, where Capricorn is, and believe it, Capricorn is an earthly energy. So it's a feminine energy that partakes because it develops, right? It develops things. It has things grow. And whether it's weeds or beautiful flowers and fruitful trees. But this is where Pluto wants to get into, like, I need the proper information in order for me to be able to ascend and grow and create a stronger foundation in my own life. And that Eris energy is so strong, because she's squaring off to Pluto as well, with the North Node there. So it's like, all of this sort of anger and conflict and craziness is coming all in, and we're trying to sort of figure it all out, yet we are unable to do that. We have, we just want to put the blinders on. We don't want to see it. But in seeing it, we see the truth. We start to see how, oh my God, okay, that's manipulation over there. Oh, okay, I can see how they're pulling on my heartstrings over there. Okay, this is where I need to start being. You start you start questioning, you start really looking deeply into your own truth and the path you need to take upon your earth walk. Very powerful stuff, man. Very powerful stuff. And as we are doing this, as we're stepping into all of this, this is where, with that solar, because that solar eclipse tensely, linked with all the outer planets, quincunxing Uranus and Neptune and squaring Pluto, opposite Eris conjoin the South Node. Oh my gosh, she's throwing around all these words. I don't know what they mean, but they must mean something. And, and one after the other this week, we have all the exact aspects perfected by, the sun and Mercury. And this can rock the boat, God bless my little Libras. This is rocking the boat of you really taking a real look at the relationships you have in your life and what the importance of them are, right? And that Eris South Node is sending in strife and discord in around the world, but it does that so that, are you really taking a truthful look at everything in your own life as well as the world around you? So let's pull some cards. So what do we have? So this Friday evening, if you want to join me on to venture around the East Village, I think that's going to be so much fun. Let me know. I'll be down at the Simmons building at 7 p.m. and you can come meet me down there. It's going to be $30. We'll wander around and see where we end up and maybe go for a cup of coffee, a tea, wherever we end up, and do a little bit of readings and stuff like that as well. That should be fun. So I'm excited. It came to me. It's just like I've been wanting to do the East Village for a while for that haunted tour. So, and it's ghostly season. So 'tis the season. Better do it now before those other things start floating down. There we go. That's what I want. So you got to take the rose-colored glasses off, right? In whatever you're doing, be able to see things clearly and not blindly so that you are able to venture forward. The Two of Swords is saying there's information that's coming in, but maybe the wires are getting crossed or you're not seeing it. Obviously, you're not wanting to see things totally. So taking it off, seeing things totally, because it could be the opportunities. Yeah, it's like Four of Cups comes in. It's like, I don't want to take it off because I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want whatever that offering is. That offering could be whatever God is trying to give you, or maybe there's an opportunity for something new that's coming along and you're don't want to do it because it's too hard or whatever it is. You want it to be the way it was. But in taking off the glasses in order to accept the gifts that are coming forth is going to allow for you to take the direction you need to take and go off on the direction, because the Chariot is the one of trust. The Chariot is trusting in the direction it needs to go to. It's not directing, it's trusting, and it's trusting in that direction. And the overall energy for today, when you do it, in comes the Empress. So the Empress has Venus there. Venus is in the house of service right now. She's in the 6th house. So she really wants to try and come together and make things happen and create a more fulfilling and positive energy in a place where she doesn't like to be. So, and Juno's coming in there too. So Juno coming in there is kind of like, oh my God, she's going to come in here and tell me what to do in a place that I don't want to be anyways. And then in comes Saturn, and Saturn is like, oh, right, I don't want to deal with him because that's my father-in-law, so, and he always has something to tell me. So, so there could be some conflict that pops up between, that of authority that wants to direct you in some way, but you have to learn how to put the boundaries up and keep your ground in whatever you're doing. Sending you guys off so much love. Hope you have a fabulous day. and have an umbrella here in Calgary at least, and enjoy your day. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you and all that you say and be and do. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and talk to you later.